if you are a horse owner, go to any store that carries diapers, Target, anything like that, and go pick up some diapers. So today I have a bunch of horse hacks that every equestrian needs to know. So I'm going to be sharing them all with you today. I've done a couple videos like this before and I see a bunch of different horse hacks shared on TikTok. I think these type of videos are super helpful because if you are in horse world, you know that finding the next best thing that makes life easier, being an equestrian, is always a must. So over the years, I've learned a bunch of hacks. I still continue to learn a bunch of hacks in my daily life of being in my barn and being around my horses. So I hope that I'm able to bring you guys some fresh equestrian hacks today. If you guys are excited for today's video, if you guys are excited to learn some of these hacks, make sure you go and give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below. Make sure you turn on those post notifications so you don't miss any of these videos. And of course, make sure that you comment down below so that you have a chance for my post notification shout out. All right, you guys, well, let's get into hack number 1. So the first hack that we're talking about today has to do with your saddle and tack. So I have my saddle here, but technically this hack works best when you're using it on your horse because it has to do with after you're done riding and putting away your saddle in the best way to prepare you for your next ride. So the first one we're going to talk about is your latigo. So the strap that I'm talking about is right here, and this is what connects to your girth, or as others call it, front cinch as well. So mine's set up the way that I'm going to show you the hack of setting it up. So it's just preparing you for your next ride. So the hack right here, we're going to kind of go backwards, is that you're able to just pull it like this through your girth to set the girth up. So how we would, after we're done riding and you're putting your saddle up, you would take your strap like this, and then you're gonna go behind it, go through your D-ring, and let the tail of it hang right here. So mine, I do this all the time, that it kind of already has the imprints in it. So again, it's just back here, through the D-ring, and pulled forward. It's so simple, and you just leave the tail here. So I'll show you the mechanism. So we're gonna jump to the other side of the saddle where the actual front cinch is. So on the other side of my saddle here is my girth, my front cinch, and there is a way that you can hook this up to this piece of leather right here, which a lot of people do, but for me, I think it's really easy if I have this clip right here. And this clip also is used in another hack, which will be hack number 2, but this is like a little bit of a doubling hack here. So I have this clip right here, and I can put my girth right up into here so it's not dangling down, it's not getting squished or anything like that, because this is a really important part of your saddle. This is what holds your saddle basically onto your horse. So I have it clipped up to here so it's not dragging on the ground. But to use the other side with the latigo, I'm just gonna unclip my cinch from my saddle, and now it's hanging down. Now we're gonna go back to the other side of the saddle. So now if this was on your horse, all you have to do is grab the tail of your strap here and pull it. This is a lot easier when it's on your horse, but it's right there set up for you. No having to mess with your straps being all tangled or anything like that, and it's ready to go. So then what you would do if you were unsaddling, you come like this and pull your strap up and you're done. Easy as that. Super easy hack to keep your saddle in really good condition. All the straps, I know a lot of people have leather straps and those can often get creased and things like that if they aren't put up the right way. So this way works really well to keep everything nice and tidy. So hack number 2 has to do with the saddle, like I said, and what it actually really has to deal with is this clip here. So I'm not really a saddle bag type of person where they have these holders that connect to the back of your saddle. I think sometimes in the front here too, maybe, and there's room for drinks, snacks, things like that. But for me, I don't really like things like that. I never use them, I just don't. But I always really like to have water with me. So the best option I've come up with is a cup like this with a little loop that can be held on by a clip. You see where we're going with this. And on a saddle, there's so many different places that you can clip your water bottle to. So if you use a front breast collar and you don't want to clip it to here, don't clip it to there, but then we have this, and that's why I have this hook on here. And all I have to do is clip my water on like that. So this next hack has to do again still with our tack, and if you've seen any of my other hack videos or the video where I talk about using a lead rope as a halter and a lead rope, so I've done that before. I think that one's really ingenious, but if you don't want to go through that whole process, don't have time, if you need to quickly grab your horse, don't have a halter available, I'm going to show you the best way to use a lead rope to just lead your horse without a halter. So I have my horse here that we're going to be using for example. Trigger is ready and prepared to do this hack with us. So let me go underneath you, buddy. The best way that I like to use just a lead rope to move my horse from one point to the other, making sure it's super secure. So this is the best way that I found to be able to lead them with just a lead rope and still keeping that control. So as you can see, I can turn him around with ease. We'll do this way. Okay, now let me show you where if we were to put it farther down his mane. See how he has all this head control? Now I have to really yank on him. And of course he eventually moves, but I can't even get him to stop all the way. But as soon as I move this lead rope to go back around his head, I have much more control over him. So if you only have a lead rope and are struggling getting your horse to lead correctly with just a lead rope, keep it as close as you can to right behind their ears so you still have control of their head. So this next hack again has to do with your tack. So if you need to hop on your horse for any reason and you only have your halter and lead rope, I used to have to do this often when I boarded at another barn and there was acres and acres and acres and I didn't want to walk him all the way back. So this was a fun way for me to get on my horse and walk him back. So for this halter, it actually makes it really easy because there's loops on this halter, but if you don't have the loops on your halter, I'm going to show you the next best way to use this hack. So basically this hack is taking your lead rope and halter and turning it into basically a headstall and reins. So down here is usually where you would clip your lead rope for just leading your horse. But if you're gonna be using your halter as a headstall, you wanna just move the placement of these. So for me, it's super easy because I have these hooks right here. But if you don't have these loops, the next best place would be right here. I don't suggest keeping it down here because this is just pulling down. This, at least you have side control and can move their face left and right when it's connected to the other side. So I have this side here, and then we're just gonna take the tail of our lead rope and we're just gonna tie a knot basically with the tail end of our lead rope. And then you can adjust the length of how long you want your new reins to be by just doing this. And then for me, I'm just gonna double knot it like so. And now we have headstall and reins, and we'll test it out. Good boy. Pull back. Oh, let's see if we can get him to back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. Good boy. So as you can see, it's pretty much foolproof, but I will only suggest this if your horse is capable to ride off of just their halter. And now that I'm done riding and I got to my destination, I can hop off of him, untie my lead rope. We're all done, buddy. And we're ready to lead again. So this next hack is so important as an equestrian horse owner. If you're around horses, if you just work at a stable or things like that, you probably have heard of this even. They're kind of tricky to first grab onto, but we are going to be talking about a quick release knot. And I like to call them a hack because you can tie a horse up any which way. But the real hack is being able to untie them quickly. So let me show you the version of a quick release knot that I use. Some people use other ones as well, so find which one works best for you, but this is the one that clicks for me in my brain. I take my lead rope, I have it thrown over my shoulder because it's not connected to a horse, but if it was, the clip part would be connected to your horse, so my horse is behind me. So I'm gonna take my lead rope, and this is the easiest way for me. I have a loop here. So all I have is my rope, loop. Then I take the loop and I bring it around whatever structure that I'm gonna put my horse onto. So I have my loop, it's just hanging out here. Then I take the tail, and then you can give this loop just a good twist, and then you'll take your tail, take it through here, through this loop, and then you're gonna pull it, not all the way through, so we still got tail. So now you have a new loop, and then again, you can twist it because this will make it tighter, and then you'll pull your tail through again. Now you'll leave your tail. Now this is a really sloppy version of it, but here's my horse. So I've connected to myself, but if my horse is freaking out and pulling back, so I'm gonna pull on this. So as you just saw, I pulled on it. So it's a knot that works so that your horse isn't gonna get away. So you don't need to worry about your horse escaping from your knot, because obviously if you're tying your horse up, you don't want your horse to get out. But if you see that your horse is pulling back, or if there's a problem, you need to get to your horse and you need to quickly go up to your horse and release that knot, you would take your little tail here, And this is where the quick release comes in, because all you do is pull it and it's completely out. So this next hack kind of has to do with quick release, but it's not an actual quick release knot, but it does have the capabilities of being a quick release maneuver. So it's using hay string. So I have done so many different hacks. There's so many different hacks on the internet that talk about the different uses of hay string around a farm, a barn, with horses, other animals, so many uses. But this is one of the uses that I like to use personally in my barn, and it has to do with my cross ties. So you could do the same concept with a lead rope. So this is so simple because all you have to do is take some hay string and you would tie it onto whatever structure it was, whether you're tying them to a post or something like that. For me, it's my cross ties. So I would just give this a good knot on here, however long you want. You can actually extend your cross ties with something like this, make them longer because you're giving yourself more length here. So I'm just double knotting it. And when you knot these, they really get a good hold on them, okay? So now you could use this, but if you know anything about hay string, you know this stuff is strong. There's a lot of strength behind these baling twine. So what you actually would do to use it as a quick release maneuver, you're gonna wanna separate the hay string a little bit to actually make it be used as a quick release maneuver. So I have my clip here and I will clip it to just this little piece of the baling twine. Now, this is, again, it's still strong because it's baling twine. So it's gonna keep your horse there. It's gonna respect it for the most part. But now, if you're a 1,000-pound horse, backs up on it and you don't want whatever post you have in the ground to come down or anything like that, or if you don't want the horse to flip or anything like that, if you give this enough of a tug, it will break. Only as long as you have the little strings pulled apart. I would be surprised if it did break off if it was fully on there, but with just a couple strings, probably could even go less strings than this, and we'll see if I can break it. So just like that, it broke. Now that was one tiny little strand, but imagine you put 3 or 4 for an 1,000-pound horse. So my next hack, which might be out of the ordinary, but it's really useful, is if you are a horse owner, go to Dollar Tree, Publix, or you may not have that, any grocery store, any store that carries diapers, Target, anything like that, and go pick up some diapers. Yes, Junie, you're very interested in this. So people always ask me when they see these in my tack room, like, why do I have a bag of diapers in my barn? And it's for really good reasons, because these diapers come in handy so often around here. My horses, for some reason, like to get hurt, along with a lot of other horses in this world. I feel like horses are just so prone to injuries. So using a diaper is actually super helpful because of the way that it's shaped, and I'll kind of explain why. Sometimes I like to use gauze or things like that, and it just doesn't work because it won't have anything to adhere to on the horse, and it just comes off super easily. What are you doing? So with the diaper, you already get installed like sticky tabs. So it gives you a starting ground to just stick it on and then reinforce it. I always like to put vet wrap around it. I'll even put gauze around it. So I'll show you kind of how I like to use this. I use this for 2 main things. And one that is abscesses in their hoofs. This is like a godsend for abscesses in their feet. I put some drawing salve or Epsom salt inside there, put this over the foot, wrap it up, done. Or if they have leg cuts, things like that, I can fully wrap this around their legs and get a really nice wrap around their cut or injury so that no bugs or anything like that can get in there. And all of this inside here is super absorbent, so it keeps all of any sort of oozing or anything like that right inside of the actual diaper. And then for easy cleanup, you pull it right off and you restart the next day. So let me show you how this actually works and how useful this is. So his hoof's really dirty right now, so this is just for example, so we're gonna pretend it's not. But this is how I always like to start for my hoof abscesses, and I'll put them like this, and it perfectly fits in the concave of this diaper. And then my pull tabs, I just pull them around, and obviously I do so much other stuff around this too, but this is just a really good base so that they get all the medicine or drawing salve or whatever I put in there. And that's my first step to it. And just like that, it's so simple to start for a hoof abscess. It's completely covered, and then I can wrap it, do whatever else I need to around it, but that's like the perfect base structure with a diaper. So that completes today's video of horse hacks that actually work, that every equestrian needs to know. I hope some of these hacks were new to you and that you're able to implement them if this is something that you're struggling with and need this type of hack. So if you guys have any other hacks that you're able to share in the comments down below, make sure you do so for your fellow equestrians. Or if you just wanted to let me know what your favorite hack from today was, let me know in the comments down below. If you guys liked today's video, make sure you go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below. Make sure you turn on those post notifications so you don't miss any of these videos. Today's shout out goes to... All right, you guys, well, we love you, and I'll see you in the next